Hello thrill seekers and welcome back. Picking up from where we left off last time after my disastrous parking escapades in Covent Garden, I managed to park and I got my photographs. And we're off now to try and photograph Big Ben, although I'm not optimistic because there's St Martin in the Fields Church on the left. I'm not optimistic because I know that it's covered in scaffolding. National Gallery on the right. It's covered in scaffolding and I suspect the sun is behind it. That is my motorcycle, but in a rather fetching metallic blue. Mine's in white. It's funny how motorcyclists never look at each other, especially police motorcyclists. If you come up alongside a police motorcyclist, you never look at them. I've tried it in the past and I've smiled away, gurning away like a Cheshire cat, and I always end up in trouble. They always stop me for something, tell me off. I'm sure they're very nice people, but it's a dangerous game looking at police motorcyclists. Anyway, Trafalgar Square on the right. I was already getting distracted by the thought of the friendships that could have been with police motorcyclists. So I think what we'll do here is just take a left and head down Whitehall. Oh, there's Admiralty Arch on the right, just missed it. That takes you directly down to Buckingham Palace. But fear not, we will be going down there soon enough. We're just in the gap here between the two London lockdowns, and so I think everybody's anticipating the second lockdown and has already run away. Oh look, there's Horseguards, the back of Horseguards there. Usually a couple of little horses sticking their heads out there with a guard on top of them and 4,000 tourists surrounding them. Not today. Ministry of Defence on the left. And just coming up here on the right is Downing Street. Any activity? No, nothing today. They must be doing their lockdown planning. Oh, there's the cenotaph just behind me. Nearly got myself arrested outside Downing Street recently. I was doing a job inside, but I was loitering outside waiting for my client. They were late, and I had a backpack on, and you could see them, these policemen with machine guns, getting more and more suspicious of me, and eventually they said, "Hello, son." Anyway, it was all right in the end. This is the Treasury on the right-hand side there. So we'll just nip down here and get to the head of the queue into Parliament Square, cheekily going into the advanced stop zone. I know I shouldn't, before anybody tells me off. But they shouldn't either. None of us should be, apart from those two, and they're not. Maybe they're seething with anger, but they're not showing their emotions. Look at these two lads here with their skateboards. I think they're heading down to the South Bank. There's a skate park down at the South Bank. But keep your eyes on them there. This is very amusing. He's going to do some tricks for us. His friend is just standing there watching, just despairing probably. Shrugs. Off they go, look at them. Anyway, there's Big Ben, and I'm right. I mean, it's not as if they were going to take the scaffolding down just for me, is it? But I knew it was was there some bit of activity here? Police car. 2 outriders, maybe somebody important. Maybe somebody in that can't be that important. It's quite a sort of run-of-the-mill 3 series. Could be a 5 series, I suppose. That's Portcullis House. All the MPs' offices are in there. And then they wander over the road in there to do very important things. So, covered in scaffolding. It's not going to be a photograph, is it? I think they're going to have to use a library shot. Now there's dangerous. A police car and 2 outriders just came down that bit of road. And had they done that when he was doing that, well, actually, I wonder if they would have stopped, or which is more important, getting your VIP to the destination or arresting some ne'er-do-well on a Boris bike. Anyway, I was right about the sun being behind the building, so it was a double whammy. It's got to be one of the world's most famous sights, so let's just soak it in. I still don't look very happy about being in the middle of an iconic landmark, do I? County Hall on the left, now a big hotel, but originally Ken Livingstone's office. I remember the days. This used to be a rather exciting roundabout, but they've sort of made it, as everything, they've made it less exciting and stuck a big hotel in the middle of it and made it a sort of very convoluted one-way system where you can't actually get to where you want to go. There's the old Eurostar terminus, just between those two cylindrical buildings in the background there. That's the back of Waterloo Station. Designed by Nicholas Grimshaw way back in 1987, when I'd been down in London for 2 years. Anyway, that whole area is going to be redeveloped into something rivaling King's Cross and St Pancras. Shops, restaurants, lifestyle, you name it. Opening in 2021. St Thomas's Hospital here on the right. You can see why Boris ended up in there, can't you? Because it's a very short trip over the river from the office. Not much happens really on Lambeth Palace Road, apart from Lambeth Palace, I suppose, which is on the left. Well, the gardens are on the left. They're quite extensive, as you can see. In fact, Lambeth Palace itself, which is just coming into view on the left here, it's the home of the Archbishop of Canterbury. It's not a bad sort of grace and favour pad, is it? Here's your house, comes with the job. But to be honest, I've always thought it's a bit heavy, a bit gloomy. I mean, small windows. What's the point in living by the river if you can't actually see it? So we'll hang a right here and get back over the river, over Lambeth Bridge. My impatience is getting the better of me here, so we'll just whiz up inside the BMW and the bus. He won't cut me up because I know he's turning left over the bridge past this mobile disco on the left. Quite bright, isn't it? And onto Lambeth Bridge, which is quite narrow and therefore quite exciting. There's Battersea. That's transformed. Maybe we should go down there one day. Let's go down. I'll take you down to Battersea, down the power station, because that looks very different. And then the view back to London Eye and Parliament. Slightly heart in the mouth moment when you go between two buses. There is enough room, and you just have to. Well, actually, as we'll see later, you have to have a bit of confidence about it. And once you're committed, it's almost safer just to stay on the throttle and get the whole thing done with. Hesitation is rarely the best option on a motorcycle. As I say, we'll see later as we go up Hyde Park Corner. Somebody nearly comes a cropper, and I'm right behind them. So Millbank takes us. We've done a big loop really. We've come over Westminster and we've come in a big circle, and we're heading back now towards House of Parliament, which are on the right hand side. And what's happening here? Yes. And she going? No, she's going straight. Right. Okay, let's carry on then. This is strangely deserted, I have to say. It's slightly surreal. It's a great view of the landmarks of London, isn't it? But because we're not stuck in traffic, but the whole journey's going to be over in 5 minutes flat. Westminster Abbey coming up on the left-hand side here. Or the back of Westminster Abbey, anyway. So everybody's moving out of the House of Parliament soon, and they're moving into they're building a whole new chamber in what used to be the Welsh office on Whitehall. We passed it a few minutes ago. That's going to be quite an operation, isn't it? The wrong gear. There you are. Started off in second. That's not going to get you very far, is it? Now the quickest way to get home for me is to do a left here and go up to Victoria, Marble Arch, Hyde Park Corner, and we're home. But no, let's go on the scenic route. I'll take you around Parliament Square, and there's the Royal Institute of Chartered Surveyors on the left. There's the Treasury right in front of us, and we'll go down Great George Street, which has also been transformed recently by this cycle lane on the. I mean, so much of London has been transformed by cycle lanes and these huge security barriers. But actually, when you see things like this, a family here on the right, you think actually it's maybe better to have that than it is to have 3 lanes of traffic, because Great George Street enormous circumstances, is completely gridlocked from where we are now right back up to Parliament Square. And if you were on a bicycle, it's there they go. And they're probably going down to Buckingham Palace, which is straight down that road. Yeah, so if you were on a bicycle, it would be a pretty unpleasant and dangerous experience in the cycle lanes. I can see make it a lot better. So instead of going straight down to Buckingham Palace, we're going to swing a right here. That's St James's Park in front of us there. Out here, we're going to swing a right onto Horseguards, and with the Treasury on the right, we'll soon come along to the Foreign Office. There it is. And then just poking its little head around the corner here is the back entrance of Downing Street. The red brick building there, just down there, it's number 11, number 10. Those windows are about 1.5 inches thick. I was taking some pictures in there, and you're very aware of the fact that the view out is, it's Horseguards Parade by the way, the view out is a very deep green colour. And the chap said that after the IRA decided to luzz some bombs at it, they thought they'd better beef it up a bit. Anyway, here we are, swinging a left onto the Mall. Admiralty Arch right behind us. And look at all those film trucks on the right hand side. Wonder what they're filming. Sometimes, I must admit, I do stop and ask. They're usually very friendly and they'll tell you what they're up to. That is an enormous film crew, isn't it? That's a lot of trucks. It must be something very big. It's probably not the Crown. Of course, at the end of the Mall is Buckingham Palace. So we should get a good view of that. If I just nip down here by this Mercedes, lights have changed just at the wrong moment. I'll hang back and that'll give us a little bit more room. In fact, how unusual is it to see Buckingham Palace without throngs of people, thousands of people in that pedestrian area? That is a very strange sign of the times. I might have to come back and get some photographs of that, in fact. So, just on the left of the shot there is St James's Park, and if you walk over there, you end up on Piccadilly, Green Park Tube Station. That bike just over my shoulder would have normally come right past me ages ago, but he can't because of the Mercedes blocking his way. I'm trying to look not too guilty about holding him up. He'll be on his way soon enough. Hyde Park Corner's got a sort of reputation, hasn't it? It is brisk and it is busy, but I think the trick is to know roughly where you're going and then get there with a certain degree of sort of bravado. Once again, hesitation is not your friend. Dithering will end up with people beeping their horns at you. Anyway, I think everybody else around here is going down to Knightsbridge on the left, and we're going to bear right at the top, so I'll stay hard right, keep going at a reasonable lick, and then I'll sort of squeeze through, but I want to go left. After all, there's number 1 London, that's the Duke of Wellington's house. Now, just here on the left, there's I spotted somebody on a brand new scooter in lovely duck egg blue, and I always go around the outside here, and I thought I was being very clever. Gaining a march, avoiding the traffic. I'll just go around this hideous Bentley and into this little gap here. I can resume. I've lost my race with the duck egg blue scooter. And we've lost our fight with the big red bus. Anyway, that's alright. We'll have to wait. It's not my best quality. Gets a bit interesting here. Anyway, there's an enormous bus lane on the left of Park Lane now, which is why this traffic's so bad, which I would have shown you, but the battery ran out.